Developing cultural agility. Cultural agility is a competency that enables workplace professionals to perform successfully in cross-cultural scenarios wherein their positions, roles, or tasks deal with unfamiliar cultural norms. An employee is able to gain this ability through their own experiences, skills and abilities, personal reflection, and acquired knowledge. We have noticed in our research that the competency, cultural agility, has not been properly implemented into training programs, especially in global organizations, where being culturally agile is important to succeed. Why is cultural agility important? The ability to adapt to the norms and practices of these cultures and work effectively with people from different cultures is imperative to their success as an organization. Studies have shown that programs that focus on building the cultural agility of the trainee tend to benefit not only of the employee, but all stakeholders. Employees gain certain competencies like the ability to see from different perspectives and the ability to work effectively with culturally diverse groups. Benefits to the organization include, but are not limited to, increased retention, as well as a more engaged workforce, which increases performance. Most professionals would agree that being culturally agile in the workplace is a highly aspired skill. In our current global economy, this competency is becoming necessary to successfully communicate, negotiate, and build trust in cultures different from our own. Research says that some of the largest professional and ethical issues associated with cultural agility are religious differences, gender issues, hiring decisions, and business practices. Beginning with religious differences, management must be prepared to deal with many different religious beliefs within their diverse organization. An article written by Joyce S. Dubinsky called "Employers Don't Accommodate Religion in the Workplace" states that over 33% of workers report observing or being subjected to religious bias at work. Members in the workplace should be tolerant of contrasting religious practices that may exist and make sure that they are not discriminating, as there are legal implications due to certain religious rights. Gender issues is the occurrence of unequal opportunity between men and women in the workplace. For many cultures, it is still far from equal for males and females at work, and in some countries, men and women are not even supposed to look at each other in the eye. It is important the managers be aware of each cultural diversity present and to address each matter appropriately as it appears. In order to become the diverse organization that many strive for, it is becoming more and more essential that managers pay special attention to hiring decisions. This can create issues when an employer is seeking a highly culturally diverse organization but still needs to hire the person more qualified for the position, regardless of race, gender, age, or national origin. It is up to the hiring manager to make the best decision for the organization. Cultural conflict may be experienced given that some cultures follow ethical business practices different from others. For example, some countries' governments expect incentives for the approval of applications. It can be difficult to follow ethical standards as well as the law when dealing with other cultures. All managers and employees should understand how to make these decisions given any circumstance similar, especially when the law is involved. To ensure the organization's success in cross-cultural situations, we chose to implement a blended method of in-house and outsourced training programs. The in-house training provides more specific and customized training to the organization, while the outsourcing can save both time and cost. The criterion that will allow us to measure outcomes of the cultural agility training are 1. Cost, whether in-housing or outsourcing is more or less costly in terms of time and finance. 2. Time, how long it takes to implement the training program. 3. The ability to recruit. Determine if there is an increase, decrease, or no change in the ability to recruit new hirees. 4. Effectiveness of training. Measure the effectiveness of overall employee satisfaction of the training processes to establish a change in the future results. And 5. Employee satisfaction. The forms of measurements and expected results are as follows. Based on the criteria we gave, the use of different methods will depend on each criterion. To determine the cost of in-housing or outsourcing, we would use the return on investment, or ROI. This would be calculated by the gain of the investment minus the cost of the investment, and all divided by the cost of the investment. Implementing the training program and determining the impact may take months to finalize. Determining an impact on the organization's ability to recruit may result in more applications or more hiring activity. The effectiveness of the training program could be determined by surveying employees, as well as return on objectives, or ROO, whereby we would set specific objectives or targets for the quarter and see if we have met those objectives. It would help us determine if we were on the right track and to meet our long-term goals. Surveys and analyzing levels of turnover can be used to establish a change in employee satisfaction. For expected results, initially in-house training would be the expensive to implement, but over time, and once the program is finalized, the cost would decrease as there would be an initial large expense and implementation time. Their ability to recruit new employees may increase due to their diversity in training. Application of the new in-house training method would increase the effectiveness of employees and would increase their overall satisfaction as a result of having the proper training. To outsource a training program would initially be less expensive, but if the company continued to pursue outsourced programs, this would become increasingly expensive. Outsourcing would take much less time, as the programs are already developed and implemented by professionals. The ability to recruit new employees, employee satisfaction, and effectiveness of training would all increase due to the same reasons as the in-house training mentioned before. When employees receive adequate training, all these aspects of the workplace will improve. Developing cultural agility.